there's always going to be a Joe to mess things up for you.
Warning! Joe is a piece of
I want to know, how would you make the best sandwich?
The best sandwich I know is the Italian sausage and pepper hoagie, and this is a stupid fucking question, you fucking piece of shit. Get the fuck off the phone.
I heard in China they're shoving leeches up their asses now.
Okay, I might commit suicide.
Ben, are you mad at me?
Yes.
Hooray! Oh, I'm on. I'm sorry, I couldn't see. I have a monitor over here, and it looked like some big dumb idiot just standing there looking at himself. It turns out it was me. I'm looking a little rough since the last episode. Thank you, Benjamin, for having me back. At this rate, episode 100 will be in 2042. 2042. So stick around for that. I got something special planned.
Hopefully I live that long.
Yeah. We're on pace. Thank you, everybody, for coming back. I'm sorry I've been away for a while. There's this terrible parasite that I've had to tend to. Terrible. Adorable little parasite. Very successful one at that. Already has more verve and vigor than I'll ever have, which is sad. Actually, that parasite will be hosting the next episode, probably doing better. I'm doing it from home, so if there's a few technical issues, it's my fault.
It's looking good so far. It's looking good so far. And by the way, just a reminder to everyone, if you want to call in and talk to Joe, there's a link in the description to join our Discord, and all you have to do is jump into the roll call waiting room, and we'll figure out how to get you on. The two topics, obviously you don't have to use these topics, but we would prefer a topical show. You can give us your favorite moments of the year 2020, or if you have any strange road trip stories. I know Joe's been on plenty of road trips in his years on planet Earth.
For sure. Okay, I'll start it off with a road trip story. 2013, I was doing this thing called BCRV, Battle Cam RV, and it was basically me and Billy and two other guys on the road for 63 days, because it started out as a reality show that was kind of like Big Brother at this studio in Beverly Hills, and it got shut down after 36 hours because somebody pulled the fire alarm. And we ended up going out on the road impromptu for a trip originally just to Vegas was the idea, but it ended up being to New Jersey with deviations everywhere. We went down to Texas and stayed in Texas for a while. We were in Ohio. We were in lots of areas. Now, the one I want to specify is the Reno, Nevada, 2013. We decided to do what they call a hooker challenge. A hooker challenge is when you call a prostitute, you invite her in, you start having sex with her, and then you fake a seizure in the middle of copulation. Now, I had done varying degrees of hooker challenges. One night, actually, I had one where like 40 hookers came to the room and I didn't have my wallet with me. That was the big shtick, and it was to see how long I could keep them in the room without paying anyone, and it got really funny. That was very little footage survives of that night.
And how long did you make it till? What was the time, your record time?
Oh, wow. With all the hookers in there, at the most I had at any one time, I believe, was 7 hookers in the room at the same time. One was a gay black hooker. 2 were black transsexual prostitutes. I did not call these people. They were sent. They were sent. I should preface this.
All right.
It just so happens they were also my dream come true, but it wasn't me calling. No. It was pretty funny. It culminated in me getting blown by a Mexican transsexual hooker live on television, but that's another story for another time. What we're talking about here is Reno and the hooker challenge. So I'm there with 2 friends of the show. They were a married couple. Their name was Ruin and Rissa. And Ruin was a recovering alcoholic. And we decided to take shrooms. And we took shrooms, and we decided to crash a party that we found out was on the 7th floor of this hotel room we were staying at. When we got there, we realized, while getting escorted off the stage or off the floor, that it was a Narcotics Anonymous party for sober people recovering. And they could tell a mile off that we were high out of our minds, and we got escorted off by, I don't know if they were just party goers or if they were security. It felt very odd at the time. That's when they decided it was time to do the hooker challenge. So we had been ushered out of there. We were coming down off peaking on shrooms, and we made the call. Now, prostitutes are legal throughout Nevada, except in the city limits of Reno and Nevada, sickly enough. There's strange reasons for that. I don't know if it's changed since 2013. That's long been part of the joke of going to Vegas. It's all legal there, of course, and everybody kind of looks the other way. But in this particular case, what we were doing was not strictly legal. That, and we were going to be filming her without her consent, so there's that too. So we're in there. We get this prostitute sent over. She's on her way over. All of a sudden, one of our viewers notifies the front desk concierge what we're doing. And the guys that come up are fucking guineas right out of Casino, the movie Casino, 1995 with Martin Scorsese. They're wearing silk suits. They got greasy wop hair. They basically look like me without the pirate facial hair. And they're walking around, and you can tell they're up to no good. One is like a henchman, every nameless henchman you've ever seen in an Italian mob film. And the other guy is like a greasy, mouthy kind of guy. Me, just imagine me. But at the time I was clean cut, and I was wearing a Letterman jacket everywhere just for a shtick, and the same sweats every day for what it amounted to 60 days or 56 days, I think it was, the same sweats every day. Now, we were about to do this challenge. Ruin and Rissa, the two guests with us, were already bickering because she found out he was going to be doing the hooker challenge with us, and she was not okay with that. She couldn't take one for the team. She didn't want to be a team player. She said, "You're not banging a hooker on camera and faking a seizure with Joe and Billy. I'm not going to tolerate it. Some people are buzzkills. What are you going to do?" Now, the problem was their fighting led these two guys exactly to the room. So from the lobby where I was looking around to see if anybody had followed us or if the prostitute was there yet, I see them walk in, and I hear them go, the two henchmen go, "Well, now we know what room they're in." So they start banging on the door. Now I'm just kind of like sidling up from the other side of the hall, like maybe I'm going to another room, just peeking in. But they bang on the door. Ruin answers the door, and they go, "Get out of our hotel." And there's like some confusion. Billy's like, "Okay," like Billy's already done with the kind of thing, because me and Billy were feuding at the time. We were kind of more frenemies for various reasons not of interest here. So he was already done. So he was just ready to pack up and go. Our driver, Cody, another guy that was there, was packing up things as well. Now me, I don't know what got into me, but I was like, "There's no fucking way we're leaving right now." I know what got into me. I'm an idiot. So I was like, "No, we're not leaving." Well, Ruin and Rissa are bickering back and forth like there isn't two greasy Goomba henchmen mob guys telling them to get out of their hotel room or else, right? So they're fighting like this is Reno, just regular Reno. This is another day in Reno. Me, I'm like still kind of high on the shrooms, and I'm just like, "Man, I'm not getting out of here. I'm not getting out of here at all. All right, dude?" At the time, I weighed like 140 pounds, so I was just asking to be snapped in two. But I didn't care. I was just like, you little fuck. What do you think this is? 1948? The mob still runs thing in fucking Reno, Nevada? Huh? You're going to give me my money back. So we go downstairs, these guys follow us, and I just keep the camera on them the whole time because I know that's my only defense. If that camera goes off, forget it. You'll never see or hear me again. For some of you, that might be a good thing. I would not be having to tell you this story. But in this case, I needed this. So I had the camera on them, I was filming them, and we were going downstairs together. They got in the elevator with me. I'm filming them the whole way down the elevator. And I go, "Give me my money back." We paid cash. Luckily, we did not have our name on any cards or anything. We paid cash. So we go up there, And I go, you got to give me my money back. I paid for 3 days and you're kicking me out on the first day just because I'm getting a lovely prostitute sent to my room and filming it. And then this guy goes, wait, show me your IDs and I'll give you your money back. I'm like, no, I'm not going to show you my ID. Give me my fucking money back. You know what room I'm in. You got my receipt. Give it back. And I didn't show an ID to get in here. We didn't have to put a card down. In Reno 2013, you still didn't have to put a card down for collateral. Everywhere else in the world, I guess you did. But this place, again, a little shady, run by the mob, clearly. So these guys, they go, no, you're not getting your money back. And then the big greasy guy comes up on the side of me and he puts his hand on my shoulder and he's like, you want to do something about it? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do something about it. Yeah. And then I walk out like with the thing, right? Now, they start following us. They get in their car. It's a black car. And we get in their car. We get in Ruin and Rissa's car, which is this little piece of shit. I think it was a Mazda. I'm sorry if you drive a Mazda. This was an old model. It was like a 97 or something like that. And it was messy. And Ruin and Rissa, the husband and wife, are still fighting. We get in their car and we're now on a getaway chase because they're chasing us. So they start driving around in circles. It turns out they live not 2 miles away from this hotel, okay, where the mob hotel is. So they're chasing us around. We pull into their driveway. The guys come up from behind us and park right in front of the house, right? So we have to pretend this is not their house. So we back out and we start driving around. Now, Ruin and Rissa reach a boiling point in their argument. She starts yelling. Ruin is like, he's like, my boys are coming back to our house and they're going to be there. And she goes like, no, the kids are there. The mob is chasing us. They're not coming back to the house. They got to go somewhere else. We'll take them to a motel somewhere. He's like, no, we got to take care of my boys, meaning me and Billy and the driver, Cody. And then she's like, no, you faggot. We're not taking care of your boys, okay? You're not going to fuck your boys in our house, right? This is how they're yelling, right? And they're going really slow because she's driving. And she's driving like there isn't somebody following us, okay? So we're still going, and there's still choice. She actually called him a faggot. That was not artistic license. This was verbatim how it went. So she pulls off to the side. She goes, yeah, you want to be with your boys? You go. I'll walk. She gets out of the fucking car. Ruin is like, what the fuck are you doing? Where are you going to go? You're Polish. One of the best lines I ever heard. I have no idea what that meant to this day. He said, where are you going to go? You're Polish.
He called you Polish?
No, he said that to Rissa. Rissa, his wife. She got out of the car, started walking away.
Was she
While
Polish?
the mob's chasing us, she gets out of the car, and then he's like, where are you going to go? You're Polish, to her. And we're just sitting in the back looking around like, we're going to die. We're going to die. We're already paranoid because of the drugs. And then we're just looking around like, oh, shit. The car is still behind us. It just stops. Rissa starts walking like there isn't somebody behind her, right? She just starts walking along, and Ruin's like, that's it. We'll drive. And I'm like, you're just going to leave your wife? You're going to leave your wife out there to walk? Well, the car stops following us. They take us to a Motel 6, okay? Rissa was never seen or heard from again. I made that last part up. Actually, the next day I banged her in another motel room. It was not a Motel 6. It was a nice one that the billionaire put us up at. Billy was a really good friend that day because Billy knew what was going on and he knew that she was married at the time. And he decided to leave us in the room. And the driver had a conscience, so he was like, no, we're not gonna let you bang, you know. And Billy was like, no, come on, let's go. And Billy was a really good wingman that day. So it's a terrible story all the way around.
What a good way to start it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So.
All right.
But did you wear a condom the whole time? No, I did not.
Only half.
I
of the
wore
time.
a hefty bag. Now, that was my my very long kickoff story for the road trip.
I thought it was quite enjoyable. I have to switch to a different screen for just a second here, because I don't think, or maybe it is on here. Sorry, I'm like thinking out loud. I think I have. I don't have it set to display who's in the Discord call on this screen, so I'm gonna switch us over to this one over here for just a sec.
There's always going to be a Joe.
No, I did it on this one too. Hold on, I gotta grab the Discord peeps. Look, you're in a weird little. You're in like the. Weird...
I'm in my own box out here. You'll have to bring 3 other people in to make this make sense.
All right, here we are. Okay. Paste. Right. Bam. There we go.
All right.
I just wanted it to show who was in here so you knew who was talking.
Cool.
All right, here we go. Here's Boobry.
Boobry's here, everybody.
Yeah, Boobry.
Hey, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty fine. It's late here, but otherwise, I'm usually up for DP, so, you know.
What's on your mind?
Sorry it's not a topical question, because I didn't know it was about the topic, Ben. But I had a question prepared. So, Joe, you wake up one day, and you're more or less invulnerable and superhumanly strong. What animal would you cuddle?
What animal would I coddle?
Yeah, cuddle. You can pet and cuddle any animal in the world.
Oh,
and they can't kill you.
Probably Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe something counterintuitive, like one of those poisonous little microscopic frogs. I'd hold that because I'm invulnerable, right?
Yeah, invulnerable. No animal can kill you. Would you go around with them and be like, look at me, yeah? Or would you just be at home?
Yeah, what I'd do is I'd get them suctioned all over my body, and I'd just walk around that way, and I'd be known as the poisonous frog guy. It'd be my new shtick.
It's a good shtick.
Thank you,
I'm happy with that. Thank you.
Have you ever had a road trip?
Like, I live in Sweden. The most time we spend in a car is like 5 hours. It's not really a road trip at that point. So not really.
That's not a road trip, yeah.
Yeah.
That
it's
makes
not
sense.
like the closest we came is like when I was little we went to a water amusement park, you know. Stayed there.
That sounds wild.
It's a very...
You should tell us about the rides you went on. I'm kidding, Boobry. Boobry, what was your favorite moment of 2020?
Yeah, the thing is, I was like, should I prepare a good question or like tell you about my road trip? No road trips, so whatever. My favorite thing about 2020? Nothing. The worst year to have the worst year to have that kind of a question around.
Right.
That's kind of why we chose it.
Yeah. You almost feel bad about having a good 2020. You know?
Yeah.
You almost feel bad because you're a psychopath, is what I'm saying. But no, I had a really good 2020. A really good 2020. But I'm not going to tell anybody about that because, you know, in light of the situation, it's just a really selfish thing to do. You know?
I mean, I don't really think it's that selfish to be happy that you have a baby. So, yeah.
Oh, well, that's actually not why it was a great year for me. It turns out a lot more people died than normally.
Oh my god.
I guess it's kind of selfish. I don't know.
I thought it was because Billy was stuck at home with you and you could fuck with him more or something.
No, it was all the people that I never met that died, and some of them that I know of that died.
Anyone in particular you liked that they died?
Nope. I just love that there were just people dying in mass.
I have to say, Joe, that's very brave of you to say. And I remember a time back where all these people were being called brave, and you were actually the brave one. You're the brave one.
I think I remember what you're talking about when I hugged the Predator live. Who's going to speak up for the Predators is what I want to know. And the people that are dying and are happy about it. Huh?
Are you
Who's gonna
saying
do
you're
that?
speaking up for COVID, Joe? Are you speaking up
In
for
defense
COVID
of
right now?
COVID, I opened up a kissing booth for COVID, specifically. Just hoping to
How's
spread it around.
business?
I've had the fucking thing 3 times now. I'm an idiot. Even with the mask, I still put my mouth on things like poles, just a taste test. I'm like a child. And
Touch your face all the time?
what's that?
Touch your face all the time?
I touch my face all the time. You see it, me on cam. I'm always fiddling this like this is ever gonna get better. This fucking ferret on my upper lip. You know, I'm always fiddling.
Yeah.
I'm always touching.
The
I
pirate
think that's why
ferret.
I got it so many times.
Yeah, man.
Oh, we just
Yeah,
got a Streamlabs from Red Scare saying,
Hey.
hi, Joe. Glad
Red
you're
Scare.
back.
Thank you, Red Scare. Good to be back. Good to be back. Boobry, thank you so much for the call. We're going to go to the next
Thank
one.
you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Boobry taking you down into general. That's where all of the people we've already talked to are going. All right. We've got Joey. Someone named Joey. Hi.
Hey, Joey.
Hey, so what were the questions? I forget.
Oh, Joey. From New Jersey, right?
No, from Brooklyn. Get it right.
You're from Brooklyn. Get it right. That's a
Yeah,
fake accent,
exactly.
Joey.
Watch
I don't
it, or I'll
believe you.
step on you with my Tims.
He'll what with me my Tims? Did you catch that, Ben?
I think he's like playing a character. This must
On
be
the show Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, what was your favorite moment of 2020, Joey Wheeler?
I didn't prepare for questions. I was just planning on putting on a stupid voice. I'm
It
such
went
a
over
dumbass.
well.
All right.
What the fuck's wrong with you? You thought what? at the voice, I was just going to be so taken with you? What was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? You could keep going with the shtick without going on topic, without having anything to back it up? Get back into Joey Wheeler. Get back into the, hey, yo, from Brooklyn. Get back into it. Joey?
Joey Wheeler.
Are you in character? There you go.
Yes, I am.
All right. Now, tell me what Joey Wheeler's favorite part of 2020 was.
Yeah, I play that card game called Yu-Gi-Oh! And so, like, when that Shadow Showdown deck came out, I was like, oh, man, I got to get that shit. So, yeah, I got it, and I'm using it at Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments, at the comic shops, and it's going pretty damn well, if you know what I mean. Forget
All
about
right,
it.
your favorite road trip, the Queens.
The road trip to Queens? I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay, you're
I
from
just drive
Brooklyn.
around.
You're from Brooklyn.
You
Can
saw
you
your
name
aunt over
can you
in
name
Queens.
the other boroughs in New York then, since you're from Brooklyn?
Rhode Island?
Did he just say Rhode Island? All right, you're gone, buddy.
Get out.
Get
out.
out.
That was the least amount of verve I've ever seen in an actor in my life. He crumbles. He crumbles right away. All I had was the voice. I didn't have any shtick or any story or anything. Is that enough?
Yeah, I mean it was we got enough out of it, right?
It was cute.
Here's
Don't get me wrong, the Yu-Gi-Oh thing had me riveted.
Here's Emion.
Hey.
Emion is here. Hey, Yon, you little creep.
My best
You're
buddy.
the weird one who threw up in a girl's vagina.
Yeah, no, actually haven't gotten that close to a vagina in my life.
Oh, that's another one.
So
I'm
that must have
sorry.
been somebody
Emion,
else.
you're the one who always asks who my favorite caller is, despite being the worst caller every time.
No, I never asked you, but you called me the worst caller and best caller. Yep. That's what it's all about. So,
okay. What's on
you
your
wanna
mind?
hear 2020, man. It's been a year. It's been a wild ride. I love talking to you. You always put me on my place. Or some shit.
Oh, good. Was that your favorite part
this
of
year-
2020 when you talked to me?
No.
Good.
This
Is that
year,
what
what
you
I
think
did.
if you think 2020 was a wild ride for you, just think about Joe's daughter. She was inside of a person and then she popped out of a vagina out
Sure
into
did.
the cold, cruel world.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she got raised by a psychopath.
Stevie.
Well, this year, me personally, I've the two things I did this year was I watched the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and then I bought a fleshlight.
Ooh. Never mind.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
It's banner year.
Yeah.
Emyon,
What?
how many times have you come today?
2 times.
2 times. I can
Yeah.
hear it in your voice. There's no vigor. There's no need.
I don't know
There's
what that
no need
word
to do
means.
anything when you're coming that frequently.
Yeah. There's no
I'm
need
glad, Yon.
to.
Yon, who do you live with? Be honest. Say it, Yon.
Well, definitely. I don't live with my parents because one of them is dead and the other one's a weirdo.
Mm-hmm. Say it, Yon.
Just
Who do you live with?
I don't want to be tracked, man. They're family, old people.
It's your grandparents, isn't it, Yon?
Yeah, they're fucking old as shit.
You're like an interrogator, Joe. You get to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yon,
What?
your parents are high risk. Your grandparents are high risk. You do not need to be
Yeah.
getting fleshlights.
Okay. So you want me to bring a
You understand?
prostitute?
What?
What?
That's not something to joke about. You got 2 ticking time bombs in your house and you were raised by a creep. You don't think you're bound to do something really weird to your grandparents at any moment? I know you will. Have you ever lusted after one of your grandparents?
No.
Not even your grandmother?
No, I've only ever imagined weird sexual situations that made me want to throw up. Just I randomly look at something and imagine like, ugh. Why did I even think
Tell me
about
one of
that?
them. Tell me one of them.
No. It's just
Say it.
just think of any generic phrase and then put grandma in it and be like, ugh.
Always with your grandma. Isn't that strange, Yon? Do you
No,
know...
sometimes it could be just some dude in the street. It could be like someone with a fucking booger in their nose.
And your grandma?
Like, no.
So a booger
Wait,
in
what
their
was the
nose and a
question?
dude
What are
in the
we
street?
talking about?
We're talking about strange lustful thoughts you have that repulse you, involving your grandparents, and then you started talking
Well,
about
it's not
boogers
a
and strange
lustful
man in the
thought.
streets.
It's just an imagine. Sometimes I can imagine things that disgust me, like getting hurt.
Repulsion and attraction are one and the same thing, Yon. Just so you
Yeah.
know. If you're vomiting while thinking about your grandparents, you might as well be ejaculating.
I actually have a hard time vomiting.
Get off the phone, Yon. Next call.
What? No.
He has a hard time vomiting.
Yon, stay in the queue and we'll bring you back in later, okay?
All right, I'll put him back in it. All right. I'm going to give you a Mickey Richards, so this should be interesting.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn. Hello.
Hi, Mickey. What's on your mind?
Not much. I don't have any interesting road trips. My life is really boring. I do nothing but drink and work and, watch porn online. So,
I know. I know, Mickey. Where do you work?
I work in a salt mine, slaving.
In a salt mine in Jersey?
Yeah, they have a lot of them, by the way.
You work in a
It's
salt
next to
mine in
the,
New Jersey.
next to the interstate, where the homeless
What is a
people go
regular
and then,
day
sleep.
as a salt miner in Jersey, Mickey?
I get up around 7:30, take a long crap, take a shower, don't have time for breakfast. Wear the same clothes I've
Because
been
of the
wearing
long
like 4
crap,
days in a
don't have
row.
time for breakfast.
I don't. Fuck it. Get to work late, work at a moderately slow pace because fuck being efficient. You know,
Mm-hmm.
go to
And it's
Wendy's for
union, right?
lunch. Nope, not union, because I'm a dumbass.
Wow. How long have you been with the salt mine?
Actually, what was it? 3 years now? 2.5 years?
And you're 46 years old, is that correct?
I'll be 47 in April.
47 in April. And when you wear the blue wig, do you arouse yourself?
Honestly, there have been times when I've gotten boners, and I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I can't turn the camera on until I get rid of that problem.
Mm-hmm. And when you stuff your bra, do you arouse yourself even more?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's kind of like, damn, I feel like a hot chick right now, you know?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought of wearing it to work?
Well, I don't want to get it all dirty and all ruined. The wig cost me like $18.99. I don't feel like buying another one.
That's big Jersey bucks.
It is for
Hmm.
me.
Who's your boss? What's his name?
His name is Your Dick So Fat.
Your dick's so fat.
Rollins.
One
I
thing
think I
you might
know.
be interested to know about Mickey, Joe, is that Mickey is a hoarder. Like, he'll stop if he sees junk on the side of the road, he has to stop, and like he can hardly see through the windows of his car because it's just like packed full of junk.
That
Is this true, Mickey?
It's true.
100%. 100%.
Does everybody know this about you at your job and everything?
I've been stopped by police numerous times because my car is full of junk, and they question me.
Have you won Cringer weight yet?
Yes, he is the current
I-
Cringerweight
I
champion.
have.
Oh my God,
yeah.
that sounds about right. You make my skin
Yeah.
crawl in a way Egghead could never even dream of doing.
Now you make my dick
'Cause-
wet in a way Egghead couldn't do.
Exactly. And the worst part about you, Mickey, is you're just a New Jerseyan. This is how
I
they
am.
all are. That's
I'm
the
lame.
worst part.
I gotta leave
You're
New
the
Jersey
only New
one of these
Jerseyan,
days.
though, that we
Probably
have in
am.
the Drunken Peasants universe. But I know you well. I know what you're
good.
like.
Oh, good.
Do you know why you
Ever,
hoard, Mickey?
Because I'm addicted to junk. I don't know why. I just always have been.
Okay. Do you know why you're addicted to junk, Mickey?
Because ever since I was an early age, I got, thrift shop clothes and thrift shop toys and tried to look for deals and stuff. And it was just like kind of a thing. It was almost you're priding yourselves in finding the cheapest piece of crap, you know?
Yeah, antique is the word hoarders use for junk.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been garage sailing?
Oh God.
Oh,
you know he has.
all the time. All the time. Not
He
in
probably
COVID,
does it
though.
all summer.
But
He probably looks
like,
at the ad like the classifieds somewhere, right? What did
Yeah.
you like? Look it up
I've
on
been
Craigslist. Yeah.
Craigslist every week. You look on Thursday because they start on Fridays now. And if you don't go on Friday, you're fucked. There's no point in going on Saturday if it started on Friday because all the good shit's gone.
You know, you're robbing yourself by being in Jersey. The biggest garage sailing event in the
Shipshawana?
States is in Arizona.
Oh, I thought it was something else. Then. Yeah. Arizona.
It's in Arizona. It's actually not far from the girl that you dress up as. Maybe you should go there
Oh.
as her. See what you can get.
Ooh. Probably get a
And
better
then you'd have a
deal
road
with
trip
the
story
tits.
too.
I would.
In fact, that's actually something I'm going to do for you.
Cool. Besides the blowjob?
But only during COVID. I'm going to come over to Jersey, and me and you are going to drive down to Flagstaff, Arizona.
Oh my
We're
God,
gonna go
that's so
garage sailing
far.
together.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you like 3 days of driving 12 hours a day to get there.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun.
First, you
It's not
gotta
gonna be
drive.
efficient.
Are you gonna fly to Jersey or are you gonna drive there? Because you'll literally.
Definitely going to drive there. Definitely going to drive there.
You're gonna drive to Jersey from Washington, and then you're gonna drive to Arizona from Jersey, and then you're gonna drive. I'm sure you're gonna drive back to Jersey to drop off Mickey on your way home, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotta be
it's going to
back
be
by
among the
Wednesday,
dumber
so-
things I do this year.
It's gonna be like
I
a
can tell you that.
10,000-mile road trip. That's an actual road trip. Holy shit!
Because I hope to cure you, Mickey. I think if
You
we,
might.
because basically the reason why you hoard, you just said it yourself. It's deep-seated trauma. You think if I have things, then I'll be okay, right?
Yeah.
Now, deep down, you know That doesn't make any sense. You are a piece of
course
shit.
not.
Nobody loves
I've
you.
always been a piece
For a
of
very
shit.
good reason. Except me. All right? And that's why
Aw.
we're going garage sailing, because I'm going to give it to you, good and hard. Exactly what you think you want. And you're going to realize by the end of that trip that it was all for naught. That there was nothing really of value in any of it at all. And you're going to be so convinced of that you're going to let it go. And then you're going to be very frugal and minimalist. Not because that matters either. It doesn't. But it's going to be a 180. Because you have no value and no sense of value, you go looking for stuff. And because you know, unlike other people who look for stuff of value, you know that stuff in and of itself, even if it costs a lot, has no value. So what you do is you go out of your way to get the shittiest, grossest stuff imaginable. You're a pervert. You understand? A sick pervert. And that's why I love you.
He drinks 40-year-old cans of beer.
Oh yeah, I did that this weekend. You'll be seeing that.
He does it regularly. It's not just like a stunt for a YouTube video. He just does it all the time. I don't know where the fuck he finds these 40-year-old cans of beer in the first place.
Craigslist.
It's Jersey. Everybody has them.
It's, you know what? That's more gross to me than some weird sexual fetish post on Craigslist. Someone selling 40-year-old beer and the creepy people that buy it.
Yeah, it is pretty gross.
Like a post like, come to my backyard at 5:30 p.m. on Friday and I'll shit in your mouth. Sounds less gross to me than someone selling and buying a 40-year-old beer.
Yeah, what's worse about it is that Mickey answers both ads because it's part of the same ad. I'll shit in your mouth and give you this $40 beer.
Well, they're the ones that have the beer, man. You got to know where to look. It's a weird old couple with the old shed, you know? You got anything back there? Yeah. Oh, some old beers, and I'll shit in your mouth. I'm like, hell yeah. Do it for the price of, I don't know, something.
Mickey, when do you want to go garage sailing together?
May 13th. We leave at 4 p.m.
Mark it.
That's 6 days after my 40th birthday.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Thank you.
A little early. May 13th.
Yeah, on my 40th birthday, you can drink a beer as old as me, Mickey.
I will, if I can find one.
Mickey?
Yeah, I'm still here and hanging.
Thanks for calling in. I'll talk to you soon.
It was fun. Adios.
Adios. That was Mickey, everybody.
All right. Mickey was a good caller. Yeah.
Mickey is always a good caller. Awkward, strange.
Here's another caller.
Crescent Slice is here, everybody.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me well?
Hey.
Yes.
I'm great. What's on your mind, Crescent?
Geez. So there are two questions that you're asking, right? Correct?
Yes.
Yes. What's the biggest road trip is me moving from California to Seattle.
It's pretty. Where in California?
The Bay Area.
Yeah, it's far enough. It's like what, like an 11-hour drive or something?
Yeah, 12. But I stopped in Portland, Oregon for like a night.
Yeah.
I couldn't like just one shot it, unfortunately.
Sure.
And also it was I live really in downtown, so I witnessed all of the whatchamacallit. I witnessed all of the riots and all the protests.
Oh wow! Like so it was during that time.
Yeah. It was like a diet Arab Spring, if you will.
Did you partake?
No, I just watched the shit show. And I don't mean the shit show with Hannibal Monte. I mean the real shit show.
Yeah.
Crescent, have we spoken before?
Yeah, we did.
Was it about a girl?
Yeah. Exactly. I think that was back in March. Yeah, I do.
How's that going?
And it's going well. And actually, you're right. The less I like her, the more she wants to talk to me. So everything's working out just fine.
Wow.
Less infatuated, I guess.
You just moved to Washington, so we're neighbors.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about that? Are you stalking Billy?
No. I tried to go around Dick Burger's Frozen Burgers a couple of times, see if he's there, but No, not really. He doesn't. I guess he doesn't frequent that place, does he?
I mean, everyone's
no, not these days.
He doesn't. He tries the keto diet, and also, he's not doing the IRL streaming or anything right now because everyone's staying inside. So you probably could have ran into him last year. You would have had a better chance of running into him.
Yeah, I wish I could run into him. I wish I could, but
we wanted to have a live meetup. This time last year, we were planning on doing a live meetup at a venue around the time that PAX was happening. And we even had people, like friends of ours, like the Poisoning the Well guys and other people that said that they would come out. So it would have been a pretty cool event, but COVID stopped it from happening.
And usually they have PAX West at the Paramount Theater.
It's at the big convention center. I mean, they might have something going on at the Paramount too. I don't know, but the main convention is at the convention center.
The convention center near Capitol Hill. It's on that hill, right?
No, it's in downtown, like in the middle of downtown, like near Westlake Center.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I live close there actually. Yeah. So it's a hop, skip, and a jump away. But unfortunately, no events is happening. No anime conventions, no PAX West.
Oh yeah, I was given a press pass to Emerald City Comic-Con, and it got canceled. They sent me the passes and everything. I have them, but it got canceled. So
ain't that a bitch?
It is.
And also, cannot escape to Canada too. Can't go to Vancouver or anything. Are they planning on opening up that border anytime soon?
I have no idea.
Crescent?
Yeah.
What was your favorite moment of 2020?
My favorite moment? So at night I was taking a walk, right? I take my walks usually at night because there's nobody in the streets. And I see a group of like Antifa, like a bunch of them, walking. And they hand me this pamphlet explaining to me what the Black Bloc is. It was the most amazing thing I've ever actually experienced. No, I did not join. I said, like, raised my fist at them, said, yeah, run on, brother, and just walked the opposite way.
Nice. That's pretty fun.
Yeah. Is it? I mean, it would be fun if they were, like, bashing a Starbucks right in front of me. That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
That would have been
They only do that if they have to, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, So, question: did you guys receive your $600?
Yes, I received it on January 1st. I'm
not sure.
It was really quick. If you got your last one in your bank account, just go check it, see if it's there.
Let me check.
You can check right now.
Do you think they'll actually issue the rest of it, which is supposed to be $2,000, but Mitch McConnell blocked it?
I think if they send any more, it'll have to be approved. So the new government is getting sworn in this month, so we'll see what they do. I'm not going to hold my breath, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this question for you, Ben, and also for you, Joe.
Yeah.
Do you agree that do you agree with the whole? Do you agree with the whole sentiment that the lesser of two evils? Trump better than Biden, Biden better than Trump, or it just doesn't matter? Meet the old boss him as a new boss.
The secret of politicking is both side needs the other. You need the good cop and you need the bad cop. Trump is probably the least savory individual we've ever had. If you look at the way Bill Clinton ran the country in the 90s, he ran it like a neocon, largely. The selling model was different. He seemed cooler. He seemed to be more lax on social issues. But economically, in fact, if you look even further back, Reagan was probably the least Reagan-like president, despite the selling model being Reaganomics and everything. He was probably the least Reagan-like president we've ever had, which is bizarre. Well, we've had in the last 80 years.
They've rewritten the history around him. They've changed what it meant to be a Reagan conservative after he was gone.
That's exactly.
Joe Biden,
and that's the problem. Today's truth is tomorrow's lie.
Right.
It's bizarre. There's certain things that stay the same. Principles stay the same, But politics is basically what we drape over style, and that's what it is. It's a badge. There's a style with it. There's a personality to it. There's certain things you value, and that's why, it's worthwhile. That's why it'll always be tribal. That's why it's a process unto itself, politicking. Each side needs the other in order to define itself, and that's why it changes so much. A Goldwater era conservative has nothing to do with a Trump conservative, if you can even call them one and the same thing. And as our need for narratives shift, so does our political parties. For example, Trump ran largely on a not on a conservative ticket, on a conspiracy ticket. QAnon was a huge portion of his votes, and that was basically a large conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So to call him anything resembling a conservative on those scores is bizarre. That's why so many in the Republican Party ousted him in the first place. So to talk about, is the new boss the old boss? Biden was one of the key authors in 1996 of the Patriot Act. Yes, I know that was 5 years before 9/11, but that's your guy. He was one of the key figures in listing the 3-strike rule in California. This is your guy. He's basically a neocon in many ways. Is it a better selling model because of who his VP is? Yeah. Is it ideal? Are we always getting screwed? Does the system have anything to do with us whatsoever? No, it doesn't. And no, it
his
won't.
VP is also horrible, because she put innocent black women in prison because they're single mothers and they cannot control their children, and it's the job of a teenager to be rebellious and wild and crazy. I was. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you guys were. So
I wanna stop everything just for a moment here. I want to remind everyone watching, if you could please like the stream, it gets more people in here. We'd like to do this show and make it a successful part of the channel. You guys can help by liking the stream and also joining our Discord and getting into the roll call waiting room if you want to talk to Joe. Do that, because we're going to try to get as many people in as possible. And yeah, that's all I had to say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot something. Someone sent in a Streamlabs. It said Roman Reigns greater than Kenny Omega, which no one would understand unless they're a wrestling fan, like a current wrestling fan. But that was Hypothesis that said that. Do you have any comment on that, Joe?
On Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns being better than Kenny Omega, if you know who Kenny Omega is.
I don't know who Kenny Omega is.
He's like, he's a Canadian that got really big as a wrestler in Japan, and now he's wrestling for AEW in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you send a Streamlab, I'll read it, but I can't guarantee that Joe will know what the fuck you're talking about.
Back to the point, I think it's funny that most of the people that voted for Biden are hardcore leftists, like Vosh and his ilk, for example. Sorry for dropping names, but
because they see Trump as Nero. Now, and I think that's viable. That's fine. Anything is better than Nero. Nero just wants to see everything burn. He's completely incompetent, if not downright evil. And that's a big part of the selling model. I think Trump is just a symbol. He's a figurehead. That's why he's the same guy who told us COVID is the flu, but also locked down the entire country. That's not coming from the same person.
They called him xenophobic for that.
Right.
That's what they always say. That's their defense.
He was supposed to do it. He was supposed to do it in November 2019. And we still have gotten it. There would be no use, but at least it would be like a good measure at that. But he was supposed to do that back in 2019, November, because that's when they actually discovered it, November.
I think the takeaway from which actually, since we're on the topic, the amazing part of how we all just live in fundamentally different realities. It used to be the issues we disagreed on way back when, probably before we were born. But now it's the reality that we live in that we disagree on. For Republicans, mainstream belief for them right now, or people that voted for Trump, is that the election was stolen from Donald Trump because of electric voting machines and
made in South America, in communist countries in South America, mind you.
That's not a fringe belief. That is the actual popular, Republican incorporated.
And also early voting and early by mail voting. also
Right.
as well. That cost it. That would say actually people say, oh yeah, you people are voting early, are being sent multiple ballots. They need to be there. They're not identified. All of that jazz.
Right. And then on the left, you had basically a wide margin of the left viewing Trump as somebody who was placed illegitimately by Russian interests. And that was the mainstream political belief for a long time. That's actually a big part of what his presidency was. And many still believe that. That is also a massive conspiracy theory. One is called a conspiracy theory, the other one isn't. That's the stuff conspiracy theories are made of. But it's almost impossible in the popular lexicon of the time to not be a conspiracy theorist to one degree or another. Whether you think it's the Zionists behind it all or the patriarchy, the shape tends to be identical. We all get screwed. We all feel like there's something working in tandem beyond our grasp, in secret and in concert, because the right and left are intellectually, socially, and morally bankrupt as far as we can see. And we don't think they're inherently bad, maybe, if we're on one side or the other, or if we're sympathetic to one side or the other. But it's this two sides of the same 18th century Enlightenment coin. It's as old as anything. In fact, if you read good literature on French political parties, for example, after the revolution in the 19th century, you'd think you were reading about today and how both sides need each other. One's a good cop, the other one's a bad cop. They become worthless after a while. They have really no interest in us at large because it runs in too many different directions. So we're a geographical extension of Europe, and nothing really has changed much, and we need a change, even if it means radical decentralization.
I think the $600 that we just all got is a very creative way of them saying let them eat cake. I mean, what could $600
is a poor excuse to completely tank an economy. If you remember, I think maybe it was the episode we talked. It was before everything set down. I said the big problem isn't going to be the virus per se, though the virus is a problem. I'm not denying that. It's going to be the economic fallout that happens over the next 10 years. And then I started talking about we're going to need guns and stuff, and then the riots started 3 months later. In fact, there's a comment on that show that said somebody thought I was in the Illuminati, but you had to be able to see it coming to some degree. It was a controlled demolition of the economy to a certain degree, and maybe it's because we can't keep this facade going any longer.
No, it's not that you're in the Illuminati. You just have common sense. You can put two and two together. Yeah, I guess you are the Illuminati. You are an illuminated one, I guess, if that's the case. Yeah. But here's the thing, right? In the midst of it all, while the I don't want to call them riots, protests. I'll call them protests because, if they are riots, then they are excused. They have the right to riot because, what's happening. It's, I have friends in Japan. I have friends all over the world. For example, my friend in Britain, when the lockdown happened and they actually sent him home, there's no work for him. The government paid 80% of his paycheck. 80%. He just stayed home and played Animal Crossing all day. He played video games. He did not fear for I cannot pay rent. His rent did not compound and accumulate. And for a time like this month, I think where the postmortem on rent collection is gonna actually get removed. No, he was just fine. He was just fine. The government, as long as they were in lockdown in London, the government paid 80% of his paycheck, and he was able to go about just fine. And over here, we can barely get $2,000 in total. Barely. Right. I think we got
if you were unemployed before it started, you actually got unemployment benefits extended for I think it was 23 weeks. It was something large, which is pretty interesting. So it almost benefited those. It could be called a soft form of socialism. Maybe a UBI will arise from it. Call it a great experiment. The big experiment with COVID hasn't been just the fact that the origins are unknown. It's come suddenly. There's various strains and yada, yada. It has been our experiment with collectively, globally, in tandem, working together to try to snuff it out, instead of the old method, which was with every other plague, hope for herd immunity the natural way. So that's really the great big experiment, and the economic fallout, I think, was part of the design of the plan. I think you'd be foolish to see, in another way.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, most of the big corporations got big chunks of that money, and the people got the crumbs off the table. The first stimulus package that was actually signed out by the government, Boeing got billions and billions of dollars, and the first thing they did after receiving all of that cash is firing a whole lot of staff, massive layoffs. If you're an executive, then you got a fat bonus this year. A fat ass bonus.
Yeah.
So did Amazon. So did every single multi global.
Yeah.
corporation.
Some have made out like bandits. Pfizer.
Oh yeah.
Like there's good places to be still right now, for sure. But back to the matter at hand, when the opening, which was politics, the world we live in, we cannot be expected, the average person, to make sense of our surroundings and general context in anything like an actionable time frame anymore. There's just too many forms of realities to accept. You can be realistically a Nazi today and have a website cater to that view so convincingly that it would be impossible to convince you of anything else. And in the same way, you can be absolutely convinced that there's aliens controlling the world, or that there are, patriarchy has kept you down consistently throughout, bending time and space, regardless.
I guess the word Nazi has become very diluted. It's kind of like the dollar. We call everybody who doesn't disagree with you a Nazi, right? And
right. Oh,
with
yeah.
With that being said,
I was talking about a nationalist sentiment of National Socialism that has as its harbinger the author of the conspiracy and their plight, Jews. That's what I meant. A literal Nazi. I agree that the term has been degraded,
diluted.
but there is a comeback in anti-Semitism. It's back. It's back in a real way. And the worst part about it is it can be very convincing if you have one interpretation of reality. That's the tough part. And Jews have known that forever. That's why they've been kicked out of 110 countries. It's not by accident. Complexity explosion driven by cognitive developments coupled with utility dilution has resulted in a 90% superfluous society. There's literally no reason for most of us to even be here. So if we look at who's running major industries, we see certain tribes or certain representatives, and we think, wait a second, nobody looks like me up there. I'm screwed. Or maybe they look like me, but they have nothing in common with me ideologically, and they don't care if I die.
Or they represent me like in a different way. For example, they're speaking my story to their narrative, and that's not the case.
They're using it as fodder for something else. That one of the things we have to stop doing is viewing ourselves in teams. The thing that's getting destroyed systematically is the individual. The individual and all their complexities and all their contradictions and all their nonsense. Because it's obvious it's too much to handle, but we have some poor excuses for the individual now. Like, I'm at this, and pick a trait, and that becomes your identity. And any plight that you have is the cause of that identity.
Just read most people's Twitter descriptions, like Twitter profiles.
Right. Oh yeah, it's kind of like genre.
They put everything, all the groups they belong to, all the ways they categorize themselves.
Well, identity is a very complex thing, right? It can be taken away from you. You could say, I'm a guitarist, or I'm a content creator. Well, what if YouTube decides to shut down your channel? Therefore, your identity is taken away from you, and you are reduced to nothing. If somebody steals my equipment, or somebody breaks my hand, I cannot play music. My identity is taken away from me. So we're always on this search of, we are searching for this constant identity that nobody can take away from us. And that's, you have to look into yourself.
It's spurious by itself. But the problem is when you start viewing yourselves in terms of collectives, you can be torn any which way, and anything can be done in your name. Is the problem. That's why it's such an appealing thing. It's almost a possession. What ends up happening is you identify with the thing. It makes enough sense. You understand that it's marginalized to some degree because representatives of Group A who comprise things that quote unquote run things don't have your appearances or your traits or your things. And instead of putting the obvious in front of you, the fact that it's basically who you know and who you were born in and what you were born into, you latch on to some sort of cultural narrative or excuse that says, it's because this type of person has kept me down. What it does is it makes you hate your neighbor who's in the same exact position as you are and not going after the thing that you need to be going after, which is, of course, that's what the news is all about. That's what politics is all about, making sure that the peasants don't take over, that don't run and storm the castle. Oh, actually, it's ours now. Sorry, that we don't have a French Revolution again. And it's easy to see why they do that, and it's easy to see how they do that. They give you
people are starting to bust. People are starting to bust out the guillotines. Putting it in front of Jeff Bezos' house and in front of politicians' house. I mean,
that's still a big step away from actually using it.
Well, first is like getting it out and putting it in front of your house, and depends on how they boil the frog. If they fuck it up on their end, then I don't know, heads might start to roll. Depends though, but I doubt it. We're too fat and happy for our own comfort. That's what I think, including me, honestly. Too fat, too happy, too comfortable.
You may well be right, Crescent. Crescent, great call. Thank you very much.
And we need more of these shows often. Honestly, we need more of these shows. Honestly, please, Ben, bring him more often. Bring him on more often, please.
Okay. Yeah, it's Joe's show. I'm just the producer of it. So we just need
Joe,
we
miss you.
Beg him.
Look,
and
I don't know where I have.
And send us big monies that I will share with Joe, so that we can grow the show.
Absolutely, Joe. I don't know where have you been, but you have your own reasons. But glad to have you back, and you need to appear more.
All right, thanks for calling. We're gonna bring someone else in. Who else do we have here? Let's do. We'll do. Oh shit. Hold on. Bam. Spec.
Oh shit.
You were
Spec.
Yeah, you were in the call waiting room, right?
I see a lot of Spec these days. Me and Spec play a game called Among Us together, one-on-one. It's pathetic. It's the worst thing you've ever seen. Have you ever played Among Us, Ben?
I played it once.
Okay. Have you ever played it with just one person?
No, but Spec played also when I played, and Spec, it was kind of fun. Yeah, it was fun enough to play with Spec.
Spec is gifted.
One person is no fun at all to play with it. His name is John Morgan.
Oh my gosh, John Morgan, friend of the show. If you want to know what it's like to play with a real serial killer, a real imposter.
Yeah. John Morgan is the most likely serial killer to actually play that game.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, me and Spec play Among Us together, and we have a lot of good times. Spec, what's on your mind?
Well, I thought this was going to be alphabetical, so I wasn't expecting to be pulled in so early.
Yeah, we started with A today. That was a joke, Spec. I know it's not an A.
Okay, so
Spec.
Yes.
You can laugh at that if you want.
Okay. So I'm a little drunk right now.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the reason why I might become apparent. Okay, so I don't want to name anybody since this is a public stream. This is probably going to be some of the most personal shit I've shared on a stream.
Oh, okay.
The situation does involve another person who I assume is listening. Feel free to stop me.
Okay. What?
I'm intrigued.
I don't know. I don't know what you're getting at.
It's interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Spec.
If you think you probably shouldn't, maybe you shouldn't.
But hold on, Ben. Hold on. Is it something that is offensive?
No.
Good. I think we should see where it goes, and then we'll cut it off if he's dangling off the deep end. And I'm a terrible judge of that, so we'll see.
Okay, so it's you remember the VC from last night? We kind of discussed, what I was wanting to talk about. So when the return of roll call was kind of first teased in October, I had a question I'd planned to ask about navigating the situation of an online crush. But since then, things have kind of developed a little differently.
Okay.
Now, the reason I'm attracted to this person is, I can really relate to them, and one of the things we can relate on, neither of us, I feel, has had, much success when it comes to dating. But of course, since it's me in the year 2020, as soon as I started getting to know them, they got with someone. And so now, one of the thoughts that's been, a thought that's been eating me is regret I didn't get to know them sooner. Maybe, I don't know, could have worked then. I don't know. But since then, I've just kind of been really depressed. And I've kind of been kind of bedridden, depressed all day today. And I'm just trying to figure out kind of how to move on. Like, even if things don't turn out the way I hoped, I still think there's like, I think there's potential for like a strong friendship, certainly between us. And I'm really want to go forward with that. But the thing is, I'm like still having trouble getting over just my feelings. This is among the biggest crushes I've ever had. So I'm just, trying to look on for advice for how to move on.
Well, you're in an unenviable position, Spec. Unrequited love is one thing. Limerence is quite another. It being denied from you through natural, circumstances is a very, very tough thing. Very tough. In fact, I've never found a easy remedy for it, ever. And I've looked. Anybody who's been lovelorn or lovesick, which is what you have right now, knows the pain is intense. It will make you bedridden. It hurts physically. It doesn't just hurt emotionally. It hurts all over. Now, what makes this especially difficult in your case is the fact that this person may not even have known about it. Is this correct?
No, they knew.
They knew. And let me ask you this. Did this person make it clear that they didn't think about you in that way?
What they made it clear is that they're interested in someone else.
Okay. And they're with that person right now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the first thing that's going to be your burden is going to be, you're going to have a kind of state of denial here. You kind of already have it. You're talking about maybe it'll give way to a really good friendship. Now, you're honest enough with yourself to know that basically that's out of the question largely because you're so lovesick right now, right? You have that feeling and you don't know really how to get over your feelings. You said trapped in your feelings, something to that effect. So that's one part of it. But what you're medicating yourself with was the idea that you could be just friends. Right now, with your emotional reality, that it's not a possibility and it's not something you should be sought. As a matter of fact, if you keep approaching this individual the same way you are right now, you're not going to get over it in any healthy way. You're going to keep it as a fantasy, and it'll be a dangled carrot in front of your head that you will never have a hope of ever reaching. Now, what I'm about to tell you is not a way to get this person. In fact, you have to usher that out of your mind as quickly as possible. This person is with somebody else, okay? They've made it clear what their choice is. Don't try to sway it in any way, not even under the guise of, well, we'll just be friends. Okay? You got to be honest with yourself. You have to know you like this person. You can't have this person. Period. End of story. Now, but maybe that's not the end of the story. No. As far as you're concerned, right now, that is it, and that is all. Much easier said than done. It is the only way you're going to be able to come out of this well. Okay? That very simple formula is the only way you're going to come out of this. You actually have to cut off contact to some degree with this person, not out of selfish reasons, purely for them and for you. You're doing it because you need to. You're doing it because there's no balance in this relationship. That's what unrequited love is. It is somebody, quote unquote, catching feelings or taking something and having a view of something that isn't actually there. What the friend zone is somebody telling you you're not attractive to them in that way. That's what it is. So you have to, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much it puts a dent in your social life, you have to cut them out for now until you realize your life and who you are away from them. Because this person has become a big part of who you saw yourself as. That's why you said you could relate with your love sickness. Obviously, that wasn't enough for this person who had their struggles with their relationship to find common ground. Oftentimes, we're not looking for common ground when it comes to lovers. We're looking for something that polarizes us and pulls us to a better direction. Now, that's okay if you know who you are and you know where you're pulling. It becomes very difficult when you don't know where you're being pulled. In the case of this person is developing something and having something with somebody else. They don't need the issue either. You're not in it alone. You'll always have friends. Luckily, this is a situation many of us have been in. Many of us, almost all of us, as a matter of fact, to some degree or another. And you're going to want to be with this person, even if it's in a small way. You're going to want to reach out to this person. You're going to want to reach out to anything. A drowning person will grab the blade of a sword if it means a way out. And that's kind of what you're experiencing in this situation. It's a very tough thing, but there is no easy way out. And the only thing you can do is cut them off. You have to cut them off. You have to say no, and you have to dig in somewhere else. It's going to feel like ripping off a Band-Aid, and it's going to hurt for quite a while until it doesn't anymore. And when it doesn't anymore, that's when you know it worked. And there's no signs of it lefting up. There will be a good day and then a bad day, a good moment, then a bad moment. So it's going to be a roller coaster. You just can't stray from it. And that's going to be the very thing that makes you irresistible to the kind of person that you want to be with. Your ability to overcome your feelings to some degree, to know that they're not actually you. It's communication, it's information that you've attached yourself to. Once you get to that degree of knowing, and it does not happen quickly, and you can constantly fool yourself. There's new illusions every moment to be mined and adopted as your own. You're going to have to start seeing through that, do some internal shadow work by yourself and with other people that you're not going to fall for. All right? Yeah. I'm sorry, Spec.
I was in another situation like this because earlier this year I did cut off someone who was once my closest friend because
Egghead?
No. Because of something similar.
It's Egghead, isn't it?
No.
Oh, damn.
So, Spec?
Yeah.
You're alone, but also not alone.
Okay.
Also, drinking when you're depressed usually isn't good to do. I mean, it might be okay at first, but then you normally just get more depressed eventually.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Self-pity is one of the most dangerous drugs ever, and drinking will help with the indulgence. Yeah.
Yeah. I am way more likely to cry while drunk than any other time. Easily. I get way more emotional drunk than any other substance I've ever used. So
Thanks.
All right.
All right,
Thanks for
later, Spec.
calling. Let's bring on this person.
Stratos is here, everyone. Stratos, how's the Legos coming?
They're all right. I'm doing other things right now.
Oh yeah? What you doing?
Yeah. Well, right now I'm playing some Tetris while talking to you.
Cool.
That's about right. An ADHD.
Are you playing
child.
with Legos too?
Not at the same time.
Why don't you play some Roblox?
Nah. I like Legos better.
All right.
So
Stratos, why are
What?
you ruining the stream? With your
Because I wanted
deviated
to.
attention. You
don't
calling
know.
in, I'm not important enough. This kid, he has to be juggling. One time he was throwing socks up in the air while talking to
Yeah, I
you.
remember that.
He can't do one thing. Can you
I
believe that?
can't.
That's a prison. Do you know that, Stratos?
Billy's like that too. Billy always has to be multitasking. I've seen him. He's driving. He's texting on a phone that's in his hand. He's streaming on a phone that's like mounted in his car, and he's reading the chat and he's eating all at the same time.
Yeah. But
That's
Billy's
impressive.
at least functional with it. Stratos has called multiple times saying that he's bored with everything and he has no idea what the fuck to do. He's in an actual prison. Billy
He's in
makes that psychosis kind of work to some degree. Stratos is trapped in his own mind.
Well, help me to escape it then, Joe.
He doesn't have any
Help you to
Ritalin to give
escape
you.
Stratos. The keys are sitting in front of you. They've always been there. Okay? In fact, there are no bars. You just think there are. You're staying there because you're petrified of being bored. You're petrified of one moment of a lack of engagement, of not feeling the constant surge of dopamine rushing through you. It fills you with anxiety. It fills you with confusion. You don't even know how to begin to learn a new task. You don't even know how to begin to put yourself into a situation that you're not automatically familiar with, that won't automatically yield very quick gains, a reward center. And that's the very thing that's making you so miserable. You're miserable because you don't do anything. You hate it. You hate it because you can't do anything, because you haven't cultivated attention, because you don't know.
Just
You
listen
understand?
to you. Yeah.
Are you listening to him,
Yeah.
or are you distracted by whatever else you're doing?
No, I'm listening. Yeah. I just don't have I don't know. I don't respond very well.
That's fine, Stratos. I'm used to being ignored by you. You child. You didn't even hear what I said.
Yes, I did. You said
I know you
something
did,
about
and
being
I
in
know it
prison.
stung. I could tell by the way you reacted. But Stratos, you're addicted. It's okay. Most people are addicts these days. All right? Now, that doesn't help you at all. Even though misery loves company, it's still dying day by day. It still has no sense of purpose. None. Absolutely none. A sense of purpose is always a delusion. But it's the only delusion worthwhile. It's the only one that we really can all latch onto. It's the only one that really fills us with meaning. You know, that's in the name, sense of purpose. So you're going to have to find a way to cultivate that. You're going to have to find a way to, maybe put down the video games and the porn for just a day. Try it for a day, and then try it for another day. Maybe try doing one thing at a time for a moment. Just try it. And then you'll learn, hey, I've got a new skill going. I can pay attention fully to one thing at one time. Now, that you'll be surprised where that can go. You'll be surprised where that can lead to. It can lead to remarkable things. Okay, Stratos? But in the meantime, you're going to have to go through that pain of feeling that feeling of existential dread. That boredom masquerading, or that masquerades its boredom. Okay?
I feel that all the time when I'm not doing anything.
I know you do, Stratos. That's why we're talking right now. That's why you're calling me and not fully listening.
Have you ever been on Adderall before?
No.
No?
Nope.
Wow. That would make it so that you only really have the focus to be able to focus on one or two things max. And
I don't
when
think
you're
I've
not,
been diagnosed in anything actually. So I don't know. Maybe I should get diagnosed and get Adderall, but I don't know.
Well, go to your physician and have them give you one of those inventory tests.
Yeah, they have a
and then
test.
they'll probably find that you have something.
Normally they do.
Yeah, they normally find something, and yeah, that can help you for a while, for sure.
I don't know. Maybe it's a fear that I have other things messed up in me, but I don't want to talk about that. But,
Oh, well,
yeah.
I mean,
trauma is a big part of it. Go ahead. What are the things, Stratos?
No, I don't know if it's trauma, but I'm just saying if I go to get examined, I'm fearing that I'm going to find other things that it's messed up that I don't want to talk about.
What are you, a hypochondriac?
I mean,
or do
if
you have something wrong with
if you talk about it to a doctor or a psychologist, they're not allowed to tell anybody unless you tell them that you're going to like murder somebody or something like that. They can't.
Yeah.
It's not that serious.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. That so like anything else aside from that, like they're not allowed. It's like illegal for them to tell anybody unless you're like threatening to hurt someone else or yourself. Everything you say is confidential.
So in the meantime, pretend you're in a doctor's office. What's this thing? Pretend we're alone.
Pretend Joe's a doctor and you're not live in front of 300 live viewers.
Do it.
Okay,
Fake it till you make
ask
it.
away, Joe. All right, give me a question.
Okay, Stratos. What is your big issue that you're afraid of bringing to the fore?
What am I afraid of? I guess one of the things was just constant dread, not being remembered, being alone, stuff like that.
Yeah. That is definitely something like you can tell I mean, that sort of thing is dealt with all the time by professionals in psychology and psychiatry.
Yeah,
So,
they call that the human condition as well.
yeah.
It's perfectly normal. We're here for a very short period of time, and we're constantly almost beyond ourselves primed to view that there's some meaning to it, or that there has to be some purpose to it, even if it's small, even if it's just I watch the news and therefore I matter, or that thing got made, that plaque was put there and it's because of me, whatever it is. So what you're in a position is you don't have, never mind a rowboat to go down the river of life, you don't even have a splinter to go down. You're just fucking grabbing onto whatever you can so you don't have to brave the current, because it's tough otherwise. Otherwise you're just, if you don't have that little safety raft or life raft, you're just screaming down the river. And that's what you're doing right now. You're screaming. And Stratos, it's good that you're screaming. It means you know that it's kind of like a psychological itch that you're scratching. It just means that you need to pay attention to something. You're telling yourself you have to pay attention to something. Okay? That's all it is.
Right.
Look at it as information, an indicator. What is it? What are you not cultivating? What are you being pulled to in your own mind's eye that you want to do? Okay? Is it Mickey dressing up like Ryby and going to Arizona to go garage sailing with his pal Joe? Okay? There's something there. And that's all right. Every urge stems from its tendency. It's that tautological. And every tendency stems from its presence, and that's with or without causality. If it just keeps perpetuating itself, your fear is only going to be justified. The more you sit there and worry about not being remembered, the more it's solidified because you're not doing anything worth remembering. Do you understand? And this is the big kicker. Even if you did something worth remembering, you'll find that there's just as much existential dread after the fact. There's just as much. So you're going to have to learn to not make it dependent on anything. And just notice those thoughts. Just notice them and sit with them, Stratos, without looking for a distraction or a quick way to falsely medicate it. All right? And then tell me your results next time we go live. That's your homework.
That's your homework. We'll see you next time. Thanks for calling in. People in the chat are suggesting that I call Trumpster Bob, but he'll ruin the chill vibe of Roll Call episode number 7. He is a horrible,
I think you're right,
horrible man.
I think you're right, Ben.
He's a horrible, horrible man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really a Trumpster Bob guy.
Have you seen him?
I've seen you guys. I think even he was on the show.
Oh,
we've
called him a few times, and because we showed Elisa what a dumpster fire he is, she has him on her streams all the time now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she likes those kind of train wreck people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe another time.
I don't want to call him right now. Let's just do this. All right. So now we got Ron. Zero Ron.
Hi, Ron.
We've been lucky. Everyone's been ready when we brought them in so far, and a lot of times we'll have trouble with like people not being there when we bring them on.
How's it going, guys?
How's it going?
Great. Welcome, Ron. What's on your mind?
Nothing. Just thinking back on 2020 of how I had COVID and could have died.
Turn down the audio on your computer, or like we're hearing it echo back a little bit.
How's that now?
Yeah, I think it's good so far. Yeah, go ahead. You had COVID?
Yeah, I had COVID. Doctors told me that if I would have went into the hospital later than I did, I very likely would have died.
Well, tell me what happened. What were your symptoms?
Nonstop coughing, lack of appetite, major migraines, trouble breathing, low energy.
Was that your best moment? Because it wasn't just about 2020; it was your best moment of 2020. I'm just fucking with you, Ron. I'm sorry to hear you had COVID. You sound okay now. Are you over it? Go ahead and ignore me. See if that helps you. You freak. What's wrong with you? Did my sound just cut off? Did your sound cut off? The hell is happening here? Did he just die of COVID and that was my last words to him?
Testing 1
Oh, I
2
feel
1
like
2.
Oh, there you are, Ron.
Everything
I
working?
thought you died of COVID.
Oh no, not yet.
Oh, you still have it?
No, I don't have it anymore. I had this back in April.
Oh, okay. And you were on the
I
verge of death. How long did it last?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That is a long time. The first COVID I had was in January of 2020, and that lasted about a month. And it was just a low-level cold type feeling, but it didn't go away, and it was definitely COVID. Then the second time was extreme, and it lasted for 2 days, and it was the worst thing I've ever experienced in terms of sickness. And then the third time, it was just I lost my taste. So
Yeah, dude. When I had COVID, I lost like a shit ton of weight. I lost like 20 pounds. I was 190 and I got down to 170. So it was just
same here. I was at 188 and I went down to 174 for a while. So I just looked gaunt and sick. At my height, that's just not a good weight.
But yeah, I joke that's the only good thing that came of having COVID is I lost weight.
Yeah.
New weight loss program, Billy. Get COVID.
Get COVID. Why not? But what are you up to since COVID?
I still have the after effects, though. Like when I go for walks or if I do like a treadmill, I still have like breathing problems. So that's no bueno. No bueno at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have any crazy road trip stories, though.
Wait, what?
I don't have any strange or weird road trip stories.
That's okay. Ron, what's the most embarrassing that ever happened to you?
most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. I went to a private Catholic school growing up. I dropped my lunch by accident, and the principal there, who was a former nun, kind of talked me out.
I thought
She
this
kinda
was
got
going to
pissed.
end with a priest walking up behind you for a second there.
It's gonna be like that's a different kind of embarrassment.
He pulled me aside and got pissed at me for dropping my lunch because she said that it's disrespectful to like the starving kids and all that.
Wow, how could you do that? That's disgusting.
That is pretty
I
disgusting.
guess she thought I did it on purpose, but it's like, I was like in elementary school. I'm like a fucking dumb kid. Kids drop stuff all the
It
time.
happens.
It's nothing dumb. Exactly. So it's like, yeah. So whenever Ben brings up that the nuns were bitches, it's true.
Yeah, they
Right.
are. They despise children. I don't know why they become teachers, especially elementary school teachers. They just resent children. They know they'll never have any, and I don't know why they got into education. I don't know.
It's
Bizarre.
kind of weird that priests love kids, boys actually, and nuns hate them. Sorry, I'm a little high right now.
That's all right, Ron. Thank you for the call. Call back
Nah,
again
Joe,
sometime.
it's really nice talking to you, man. Really.
Yeah, take care.
Talking to you too.
Yeah, I lost a bunch of weight recently too. I was like, because you know what? What are you, like 6'3"?
6'3", yeah.
6'3", yeah. I'm like 5'9", but I was over 200. I was like 212, and I felt like I was pregnant. Yeah, I had like the big bloated pregnant belly and everything. I felt like a big fat balloon every day, like every fucking day.
Are you still getting fatigued after you eat?
No, not anymore. I had that. That was a serious problem. If I ate, I would just fall asleep. And no, that doesn't happen anymore because my metabolism has like sped up a lot. And I'm at like 170 now.
Okay, that's a good weight.
I'm shooting for like 160, maybe even like 155. And then it takes forever to build muscle naturally anyway. And
unless you're a beginner, then it packs on kind of quickly, even though it's modest gains.
Yeah. So like I'll lose the weight first and then I'll lift, but I'm not going to become like a power lifter or anything. I'll lift I have been lifting, but you got to lose the fat too. You can't see the muscle if there's fat covering it.
One helps the other though. If you're lifting, you'll definitely help yourself burn the fat.
Oh yeah, I do it every other day.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Let's see, who do we have next? Let's do this person. I have not been keeping track of who's been here the longest. I'm sorry, it's too hard. But I'm just grabbing you guys. I'm like, oh, they haven't been on yet. Here you go. So here you are. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
What's up?
So, what's up? How you been, Joe? I just joined the stream like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, really? So, Muffin, please don't ruin the flow then, okay? Can you do us a favor?
Okay. What's the flow?
It's just been really good. Everybody's been fully engaged. They've been, if they didn't have a story or a topic that aligned with the topic of the day, they brought one just as good. What are you doing, Muffin Man?
Well, it's not been a great year for me so far.
Tell us. What happened?
My dog died on January 1st.
That's the pitch. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah,
January
it's been a pretty shit 2021 so far.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Are you the kind of person who needs to get another dog really quick to replace the void, or are you like me and you'll never get over it again and you don't want another dog?
I don't know yet. It's not been that long.
Yeah. Some
I feel
people
like
it's
if I
that
got
day.
another one, it would hurt again, and I don't want to deal with that hurt. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. What's the dog's name?
His name was Mr. Man.
Mr. Man.
Yes.
What kind?
He was a Lhasa Apso.
Did you bury him?
Nah, he's getting cremated.
He's getting cremated. How old was he?
Well, I've had him for 11 years, 11 and a half. So he was like probably 16 maybe.
16. Wow.
Yeah.
That's an old pup. That's an old pup.
I have a dog that's almost 15. So.
Yeah, I have a golden that's 14, which is as old as a golden gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a good
What's
boy.
his name?
Yeah.
Mr. Man?
What's your dog's name?
Duke. We didn't name him that. We actually got him from somebody who gave him away because he had gas. It turns out he only had gas because they were giving him bad food.
Go
He's never had
figure.
gas issues.
Gas is related to
like
what they're eating.
It seems
Exactly.
like a terrible reason to get rid of a dog.
Yeah, I can't stand it when someone takes in a pet and then just like dumps them because they're too lazy or it's just too inconvenient to take care of them. I
Yep.
can't stand that shit.
Though their loss was our gain. He's an amazing, amazing dog.
Hey,
Had him
gas is
for
like something you could
12
you could
years
easily
now.
fix.
13? Going on 13? Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mr. Man, you need to post a picture of him so we can all look at him. And we'll have a little ceremony, okay?
Where did I post it?
Let's see. We can post it in the Discord.
Which channel?
There's like a, what's the name of it? Is it called Gallery? Post it in Gallery.
I found a good one.
Because everyone can post photos in there, I think.
Here's one.
There is one that is animals too, isn't it?
Oh, there might be.
There is one that's animals. It's hashtag
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah, you can put it in there too.
Hold on.
There's someone call in there when I go into some of these other channels that I never go into. There's people in the server that I didn't even know were there, and there's someone named I Got 5 Rats, and they're holding a rat. There's a picture of them holding one of their rats.
That's funny.
Yeah,
good stuff. Are you posting Mr. Man?
I'm trying to.
Okay.
In animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not letting me upload anything.
Huh. I wonder why.
I'll put it in the gallery then.
See if you can. I don't know what the settings are, honestly.
While he's posting Mr. Man, we can bring someone in and then just come back to him. And
Well, I guess I don't know. It's not letting me upload.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. Oh my god. Okay. So you wanted to bring someone else in?
yeah, we'll come back to you, Muffin Man.
Oh,
Alright.
okay.
All right.
Stick around.
Oh, the
That
rats
was
person
Muffin Man, everybody.
just posted another rat.
I've got 5 rats. Posted another rat. All right.
Here's Magicus.
Magicus is here, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Magicus. How are you?
I am doing okay.
Good.
It's good.
How's the DQ shakes?
Joe, I had a question. Do you think we're ever going to go back to the before times, like before coronavirus? Or do you think that we've just permanently crossed a bridge where we're basically like never going back to that kind of society again in America?
I mean, if that I want to answer
it's a great question. I think we have. We've kind of, this is the new normal to a certain degree. There will always be another COVID, is the thing. you know? Something at least like it. The big innovation here is how we treated the virus. Not so much that there was a virus that was serious and was affecting us. This is going to be a way to deal with it going forward. There might be like pockets of time where, you know, we go to phase 3 and there's like low level. Do you remember those terror alert things that came out shortly after 9/11?
We were always at orange.
We were always at orange. You remember that?
It's like heightened alert.
Yeah, and just as it becomes the new normal to, you know, get frisked at the airport. Does that happen to everybody or just me?
Well, you go through the naked machine. The naked machines.
Yeah, to get the naked machine and, you know, take off the shoes. It's going to be a new normal to be expected to wear a mask in most places. It's funny, I was watching The Princess Bride yesterday, and Carrie Elwes is the main character, Wesley. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's wearing a mask at one point, and they're like, why the mask? And he goes, they're incredibly comfortable. I think everybody will be wearing them in the future. Now, it's a different kind of mask. But he was right. Everybody wears them now.
You know what? I will say an unintended advantage of wearing a mask in the winter is that it helps keep your face warm. And I was like, holy shit, you know, all these years I've been just walking around with a cold-ass nose and face.
Mm-hmm.
Now you just breathe into your fucking mask. It warms your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've noticed. I've been doing it a lot for that exact reason.
Yep. Yep. New forms of courtesy, like standing a certain distance away from people. That'll be a new part of it. You know, that'll just be a normal thing that the next generation will think, well, that's just how it goes. And if somebody gets within 2 feet of them, they're going to think that's odd. Kind of like the way we feel around close talkers. Somebody gets right up in your business. That's going to be what it's like for them to have the barrier broken by 6 feet.
Here's the thing, though. Masks were not an uncommon sight, like in Seattle, among Asian residents of Seattle. They used to wear them all the time, so it was more part of their culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, China, they've been doing it for at least 20 years, they say, and it was largely due to pollution issues. Japan does it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's common over there. We're just playing catch up. There's going to be funny things, too. People are going to have nightmares about not wearing their masks. It's going to create a whole new form of neurosia. You know how people have dreams, nightmares about being naked in public? It's going to be that. It's going to be interesting. It's going to change everything. And then there's going to be like old movies of people walking around together in mass, all the old movies, you know, anything made before this year. And everybody's going to like, wow, everybody just walked around right up next to each other without a mask on. Isn't that bizarre? We're going to look at it the same way we look at bloodletting now. Or leeching.
It's crazy how that first scene of It's a Wonderful Life, when he's a kid, you know, his boss's son died of the Spanish flu, and it's 1919.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought that was kind of interesting. More relevant today than ever.
Yep.
That's how Trump's grandfather died.
I've never been a huge germaphobe before, but like, I don't know. I feel like now, at least for me, and I imagine a lot of other people are probably way more conscious of that sort of stuff.
You had COVID too, right?
Definitely.
I did, yes.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so Joe's had COVID multiple times, I guess. So Joe is living proof that you can get it multiple times. I think a lot of people believe they get it once and they can't get it again, which is obviously not true.
It depends upon how much of it you had or like how bad it was. The way immunity works with that, it can be like maybe a few months or it could be like 10 years. It's not really set in stone. The vaccine is a lot better for it because it's a controlled amount of the virus that your immune system gets to create the response to. But yeah, when you just naturally have it, like there's no guarantee on how long your natural immunity might last to it. So yeah, it's definitely possible to get it more than once.
Yep. There's many strains now.
Oh yeah, there's like what 3-4 different strains that we now know about. Like that's gonna be a fucking nightmare.
Yep. So everything's changed. It's the new normal, as they say. You've heard that before. I think that's right to a degree. I'd be very pleasantly surprised if something happened where it would be able for us to, make out with strangers But
Yeah, I don't believe there's any actual virus in the vaccine. I believe.
Yeah, you're right. There's no actual the virus.
No,
I think
it's like a
just
decoy almost. It like fools
Yeah,
the
it's-
immune system into thinking it has the virus. It's like a
that's what
decoy.
the RNA
the way that
vaccine
this
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
the way this one works is different than like how a lot of the other vaccines work. But the important part is like it's a controlled amount that it's injecting into the system, and so it's easier to like actually ensure that the immunity lasts longer that way.
Yeah, it goes in the fundamental paradigm of molecular genetics. You go DNA, RNA, proteins, and then to reverse direction, you need like a bit of a hack, like retroviruses or reverse transcriptase. So a live virus vaccine is going to be putting RNA or DNA into some of your cells to mimic as closely as possible the virus it's vaccinating you against, and
It's going to be interesting how this new technology is going to apply to other diseases we might want to create vaccines for, because like the way that it works, as I understand, is like really, really like kind of revolutionary. It's the first one that exists like that, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not an expert on it at all, but like I like reading stuff.
Yeah,
about
me
it,
neither.
so
I like reading about it as well. I've been reading about it daily for quite a while. You know, a wild type of virus would put a lot more RNA into more of your cells, coding for all of its proteins, not just the stabilized mRNA vaccine spike. So if a lot of people have that fear of the vaccine putting the RNA in their system and then thus changing them at a molecular level, they should prefer the vaccine in that case to the whole virus.
Except for that, we know that that's not the case with these people because they're just stupid and they don't think about things like that.
Right.
You have to keep in mind.
Or just paranoid.
A lot of them think they're injecting
of
fucking microchips, which is not true. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's like they've never heard of a fucking cell phone before.
Yeah, they carry around a microchip, a tracking device, willingly. There's someone in the waiting room claiming to be your grandmother, Joe.
That's about right. Yeah. Bring him in.
All right.
Magicus, thank you.
Thank you, Magicus. All right, here's Joe's grandmama.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
Why do you sound like a scuffed cupcake?
Hey, I've been eating them. How are you doing, Bubba? How's everything been going?
Oh my God, that is my grandma. Hi, Grammy. I'm all right. I'm sorry I haven't seen you in
Look
years.
at that. So cute. Look at him with the long hair.
Thanks.
Hey, I want to know how your brother's doing, Trumpster Bob, Joe. How's he been doing? He hasn't been talking to me, you know? I'm feeling sad about it.
Who hasn't been talking to you?
Cum Dumpster Bob.
Trumpster Bob, your brother.
Your brother?
My brother, yeah. Cupcake, this is one of your worst bits. And your bit is a bit anyway. So you're playing Cupcake, playing a grandmother who happens to be...
Not a bit. I'm your grandmother, Joe. What are you talking about?
That's Cupcake. I knew it.
Oh, okay.
That's your real voice.
All right, I love you guys. I'm just fucking with you. Please have a good day.
I love you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Grandmama.
Here's
That was a really good grandma voice.
Here's Blasian.
Blasian. Oh, no. Way to ruin a good thing, Papa.
Did I?
That's a Billy quote.
Oh. Yeah, well, I knew the Papa thing was, for sure.
Yeah. Blasian, welcome.
Well, thank you. Hello. How are you doing?
Why are you doing a voice? I know who you are. Everybody knows who
What do you mean?
are.
Why am I doing a voice?
You just went, hello, how are you doing?
Does it not please you?
That's a voice.
Is
Just
this not
admit it
what
was
you
a
want me
voice.
to
You
be,
were basically
Father?
doing a Jimmy Stewart impression.
It's a voice, but no. It's not. It's
All
not
right,
why I was
Blaze.
doing that.
What brings you here? And it better be good.
You guys both have so many interesting Onision stories. We could do Onision story share time.
Oh, it's funny that like the topic is road trip stories because like basically the entire time we were at the meeting, it was a whole road trip.
What meeting was it?
The patron meeting. In
Oh,
Boston.
you did a patron meeting with him.
Yeah.
Where was
What year
it?
was
2 years
this?
ago.
2 years ago?
2018. Yeah. I think it was 20. End of
And it was
2018.
in Maine, you said?
In Boston. Massachusetts.
It was in Boston.
Boston.
Okay. And you said that when he first met you, he came up to you and hugged you for a very, very long time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you get poked? Was he poking you? Okay.
Surprise! Like it sounded like it was going to that, but he was like whispering in my ear.
Oh my god!
But we didn't get
Wow.
there. No,
Were you his favorite patron?
I don't think so, because I got banned.
You got banned. Why did you get
Yes.
banned?
Because I told him that people on an internet forum said his dick was ugly.
Why'd you say that? You know what they say, always shoot the messenger.
It was because, usually he's like, hey, can you tell me when people are saying mean things about me? And I'm like, okay. And I did that. And he did not like that.
So you got rejected by him, not the other way around. How does that feel?
Okay, I guess.
A man who universally gets rejected by the entire world rejected you.
Wait, are you talking about him?
Yeah. The whole world has basically wrote him off. They've
Oh, that's
rejected
fine.
him.
I told him, I was like, eventually this is going to come to an end, and I know I'm going to say something that's going to offend you. And
Yeah.
that was it.
That's how malignant narcissism works. It will find something to be offended over, and it will make you suffer for it. I actually got away pretty clean from him. I was just hoping nothing would destroy it, destroy me in the process, because they tend to be very vindictive. But what did he say? He said Billy was a backstabber.
You're an
Right?
asshole, right? Or something like that.
No. What was it, Blasian? You were there.
I don't remember what he said about you. I don't think he said anything about you that day. It was mostly Billy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he said Billy's a backstabber. There was something that you told me that maybe it was in another context or at another time. He said Billy is a backstabber and Joe is Joe. So I was rejected too, completely, just for being myself. I even repulsive groomers. That's great.
That is
I like
talent.
I like that. I like that
Yeah,
a lot.
he's
Blasian, why
not
don't you
doing
care
too
about the
well.
victims?
When did I say that?
You've implied it. You basically said you didn't abandon Onision, the groomer, the confirmed groomer and abuser. He rejected you.
Well, I didn't say anything about the victims. Anytime he would usually talk about them, I would be like, can we not do this in your you-ness ways and move on to something else?
I
But he would
saw
keep going with it.
someone sent me a clip of the ad for his the like weird documentary thing that's going to be about him on Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out there. It's being advertised right now.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Shane
Oh
Dawson.
my god.
Yeah, it's
And I
coming
have
out
to
tomorrow.
figure out
That's
how I'm
gonna
going to
be a
watch
whole
it.
lot of nothing. You're gonna watch it with popcorn, friends?
Yes. Yes.
Someone finds that amusing.
Somebody did.
He's watching football. My bad.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's hilarious. All right. So, Blasian,
Joseph.
did you have anything else you wanted to clog our airwaves with?
I mean, I came here because you had mentioned it yesterday and last night.
Yeah.
Just coming to support you. I'm glad
Thank
you're
you.
doing this again.
Oh, thank you, Blasian. Thanks for coming.
You're
Even though
welcome.
you ruined my mushroom stream.
I didn't ruin that. That was all
You
you.
did. It was
Everybody
perfectly
in chat
fine.
was like,
until you
"We
showed-
can't hear Blasian. We can't." And then you did something, and then everybody couldn't hear you. I didn't do that.
Yeah. You know what I did? It's kind of funny. There's this little microphone thing with a dash through it, a slash through it. If you click it, the slash goes away. I decided not to click the slash. I just left it.
See, that has nothing to do with me. That's all you.
Yeah. I guess it was all
But
for the
it's
best.
okay.
Blasian,
Yes.
stay alive as long as you can, okay?
I'm trying. I'm
Sad to
doing my
fear, I'm
best.
sorry that it was only 15 minutes then in that case. He took off work just to watch the mushroom stream. I should have told you it was a massive troll done by a mental defective. Should have. But episode 2 is coming soon.
It was baby stream.
It was
her
baby stream. She took over the thing, started typing. It was really embarrassing for me to be one up
No, it
like
was
that
great.
by a 6-month-old.
Great.
Now, Blasian, we're going to go to the next caller, okay?
Okay.
That was Blasian, everybody.
Please, everyone, like the stream if you haven't already, and subscribe to us if you aren't subscribed, and click the button or the bell and all that fun shit. And here,
Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you, thank you. Here's Teddy Rubskin.
Teddy.
We'll see if Teddy, are you here?
Hello, Teddy.
Teddy Rubskin. We might have to come back to Teddy Rubskin.
Teddy.
Teddy Rubskin. Teddy Rubskin. All right. Well,
That was Teddy Rubskin, everybody. Teddy is a sentient bear. Did you know that?
Here's Shaggy, of Scooby-Doo fame.
Yep.
Like, wow, Scoob, there's the Harlem Go.
That's good.
Was it all right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You opened with that, did you? Fuck. All right. I guess you're disappointed with that. All right, cool. Hello.
Hi,
How
Shaggy.
are you guys doing
Welcome.
this fine evening? Thank you.
You're on the spot, Shaggy. You're the last call.
Yeah. I
Do you
am.
know that?
No, I didn't. You just said it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're ending the stream after this, eh?
Yes, the success or failure of the show heretofore depends on this call.
Are you
If it's a
Canadian,
good
Shaggy?
call, it's a good show.
Nope.
Wow, you use A unironically?
Yes.
It's
Okay,
already
go ahead,
going
sorry.
downhill.
It's my
I'm
fault.
born and raised in Florida. I know, it's a shithole. Anyway.
Why is your voice
kinda-
shaking? Will you stop jogging in place?
Okay. All right, sure. Oh, geez. All right, so I kind of want to talk about a bit about COVID. I've been participating in a COVID-19 vaccine trial for Pfizer.
Cool.
And that's been pretty interesting. The thing is, the way they're doing it, it's like a single blind. So it's not like. So the doctor who administered the vaccine knows that whether or not I actually got the vaccine, because the vaccine itself looks different than the placebo. But I don't know if I have the placebo or if I have the vaccine. So it's kind of scary because it's like on the one hand,
Yeah,
it's like,
that's pretty interesting. It's a
I might
single
have-
blind, huh? Wow.
Yeah. But like a lot of the people who are actually participating, or not participating, but like working with like taking blood, all that kind of stuff, the nurses and stuff don't know like whether or not I have the vaccine. So it's like it's weird, I guess. But it's like I am worried because it's like I haven't been outside and like seen friends since like March of last year, I think. I've just kind of been at home the whole time, and that's kind of sucked. But you know, you get used to it a little bit, I guess.
For sure. You sound like you're going stir crazy, though. You sound like you're half mad. Did you know that? Did you sound like that before lockdown?
Maybe, I don't know. Probably.
Are you out of your fucking mind, Shaggy?
Always.
I thought it
Yeah.
much. Shaggy, are you Canadian?
No.
From Florida.
Florida.
And they said A?
Yeah, earlier they used A the way a Canadian would have used it. It's interesting.
I don't know.
That's very odd. I'm not sure if I
spend a
like
lot of
that,
time
Shaggy.
talking to people. I don't know. I just pick up things, I guess.
You think of things,
I
huh?
don't know.
Why don't you think up something better? You're the last call. Do you understand it's all riding on
you're
you
right.
right now?
All right, sure. I'll think of something better real quick.
All right, next
I
caller.
don't got anything.
Next caller, so
Yep.
they're not the last caller.
Yeah, they're not the last call.
They are
Wow,
not
you
the
lied to me, Joe. How
last
dare you.
caller after all. All right.
Yep. We need somebody to save the show.
This is Rat Enthusiast.
There we go. That's the one who posted the pictures
Me,
of
I'm
the
Red
5
Enthusiast.
rats.
What's up? I need to mute my stream.
Is this Kermit?
No, this is Ray Romano.
Kermit is the rat.
I love rats.
Oh, it's
I
Ray
have a collection of rats. I have 5 rats. What do you want to talk about?
It's doing Ray Romano.
It sounds more like Kermit.
I'm Ray Romano of Sesame Street, all right? Why are you
Not bad,
laughing,
Rat
all right? I've been on
Enthusiast.
television for years.
Ray D. Romano here.
What? Come on, man.
Frankly, Miss
We gotta.
Piggy, I don't give a hoot.
I called to have a nice conversation. And you're making fun of my voice. Bro, come on. Let's go. Let's talk.
All right, I'm ready.
Coronavirus. Politics. Joe
Oh, you
Biden.
wanna talk about Trump?
Why are you laughing? Come on. Let's conversate. What happened? Why is I hear a guy laughing? Hello? Is Joe talking?
No, he's not.
All right, I'm confused. All right, I called to talk to Joe.
Confused.
I want to see if the voice drops at any point. It's not dropping. That's his voice.
The voice drops. I need to
You have
keep
to
the voice
pretend
on.
you're Ray Romano all the time, so nobody
Yes.
makes fun of your voice.
Yes. No one can make fun of Ray Romano's voice. Or Kermit the Frog, or whoever.
He just pretends he's constantly doing an impression.
Yeah.
So that
I
nobody
go out on the
laughs at
street,
him.
this is how I talk.
Yeah, I know. So
Let's
that
have a
they laugh.
conversation, all right? You like it, don't you?
That-
I hear people smiling. I
What
hear
do you
smiles.
want to talk about? You mentioned Biden, coronavirus, and then nothing else. What about it? We've talked about
I went
that
on a
all
road trip earlier this year. I found a dead prostitute in the back seat of a van I stole from some homeless guy.
Hold on.
Why are you laughing?
I can't do Ray Romano. It sounds like a deaf guy in a bag.
Oh.
All right. Rat Enthusiast, die in a fire. Thank you for calling.
Oh.
I found a dead prostitute. I can't do him doing Ray Romano doing Kermit the Frog. 4 layers deep. Ben.
Yeah.
It was a rousing success.
As usual.
Thank you very much for producing the program. Thank you, everybody, for viewing. Next time, we'll have a good one for you. That's in 2 weeks, Ben?
Yeah, we can do it in 2 weeks, for sure.
All right. Cool. So mark your calendars. That'll be January 17th. I'll see everybody soon. Thank you very much.
All right. Everybody, see you later.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken peasants. Drunken peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your drunken peasants. Drunken peasants. Drunken peasants. Drunken peasants.